Hey, everyone. We are back again, and this time we are talking about branding, personal branding, business branding, and your marketing strategy. So, the question is, what is personal branding? Personal branding is how people perceive you as an artist, you as an individual, how people interact with you, the hey. So we're back again, but this time we're talking about branding, personal branding, business branding, which the two go very closely together in this day and age. And then we'll be talking about marketing strategy mixed with your values. Now, the question is, or maybe, what is personal branding? Personal branding is all about how you are perceived, how the world perceives you as the artist, how your clients perceive you, how people in your network perceive you. It is about how unique you are and how you're able to get that across. It includes storytelling. What is your story? Why should people care? Why is it that you do what you do? Now, back in the day, and I would say probably before we got really deep in social media, right? I feel like we hit a cliff in much of the world where there's life before social media and life after social media. Now, it was very important for a business to be part of social media, but it turned into it's important for a person to be part of social media to build their personal brand versus building a business brand, right? So, you as the individual, you as the artist, in a way, unless you are working under a pseudo name or you are an anonymous artist like Banksy, for example, I mentioned him before, people want to know you. People want to know about you, not just this is the business name and these are the art pieces that are sold under the business. People now want to feel some type of connection. They want to feel like they know you. And I know for some people that can be intimidating, right? Because it's like, why do people need to know me? But I want you to be aware that when you are sharing, whether it be offline, online, you get to choose how much you share. You get to choose how personal you're going to be. Just understand that we are in the world of know, like, trust. Know, like, trust. Meaning people want to feel like they know and have some type of connection towards you. You could share 20% of your life, but for some people, that is enough for them to feel emotionally connected to you. And when we feel emotionally connected to people, this is psychology, guys. When we feel like we know someone and we click or we vibe with them, as we say now, we start to like them. And when we like somebody, then we trust them. That's psychology. And psychology is part of business, whether you care about it or not. Psychology is part of business. Know, like, trust is super important. Also, the thing is with personal branding is if people know, like, and trust you, you could sell candles one day, and I've seen it. There are examples in the world. One day you could be selling candles, and then you decide, okay, I'm gonna start doing oil paintings. And because people know, like, trust you, they'll follow you on your painting journey. And then you decide, you know what? I want to make a pivot and I want to crochet. And because they know, like, trust you, they'll buy your crochet stuff. And they already had the candles and they already had your art. Why am I saying this? Because a personal brand in the 2020s and beyond is more important and has more currency in this world now versus a business brand. I don't know how many of you are on LinkedIn, but I'll use LinkedIn as an example. because I feel like LinkedIn is an example of a wider case study, right? It's an application of a case study. Businesses that post on LinkedIn get way less engagement, way less attention, way less traction. But if the leader or the employees or the head persons in position, they are posting in their own personal LinkedIn pages, they get more traction, they get more engagement versus, and again, it depends on how, what they're saying, but they could be reposting the same things from the business page, but then putting their own comments and spin on it, and it gets better engagement because people care about, I can put a name to a face. I like this person, I vibe with them. I can connect with them in some way, and in their story, I can see myself in them, or I aspire to be like them in some way. That is what human beings work off of. We work off of connection. If you look at, let's say, a, let's go to an artist, right? A lot of times people will look at, this is how this piece, whatever it is, this is how this piece made me feel. But it's an even deeper connection when they get to hear you talk about your pieces and the story behind your pieces, because now it creates this, oh, I feel that person's pain, I can see it, and now they're like, oh yes, this is, I need the piece, or I need to have a piece by this person. Personal branding is extremely important. It's important how you show up in the world. It is, when I say it's important how you show up in the world, I'm even talking about how you dress, what is your personal style? What is your sense of style? Or do you not have a sense of style? Because I know some people who they don't necessarily have a sense of style, but it works for them because that's their personal brand. That's their signature. Can't, the world would say they can't dress to save their life, but that's part of who they are and their charm and their quirkiness, right? And it's part of what makes them unique. So my question is not only what makes you unique as far as your art, but what makes you unique in how you show up. For me, one of the signature things is that I always have funky earrings. I don't know how, if you could see my earrings well, but I always have some type of funky earrings, always being complimented on my funky earrings, always being complimented on my glasses, right? Because my glasses usually have some type of something going on with them, even down to usually have my nails done. Um, or, I wear a lot of jewelry sometimes, right? Like the rings and it's just a part of my personal brand. It's a part of my style. It's a part of what people have come to expect from me when they see me in most spaces. Obviously, I'm not going to do all this when I'm going to the food store, right? But when I'm out, there is some type of style that I adhere to, not because the world told me I needed to, but because this is just how I feel and what makes me me. Okay. So I want you to be mindful of that. How do you show up in the world? Also, one of the ways you leverage your personal brand is you're able to actually articulate what it is that you bring to the table. You could be an amazing artist, you could be the most amazing performer. You could be the most amazing artist, person who creates with their hands or pulls out whatever you see in your mind and you bring it to life. But you have to be able to talk to people, not just in the realm of being able to sell what it is that you create, literally sell, like buy this or hire me, but you also have to be able to cast a story for people. You can't always, what it called, strong arm it. You can't always be cold about interactions, right? There's a level of needing to be personable. Now, let me backtrack. Everyone doesn't have to be personable, but I think it makes life easier or if you are even a little bit personable. Personable meaning you have a likable personality. It makes things a bit easier. People may be more likely to refer you for work, refer you for jobs, refer you to other people if they like you. People may be more likely to keep coming back to you, right? If there's something about you that they like. They may just like the fact that you're a professional. They may like the fact that you show up when you say you're going to show up. You adhere to the deadlines. You deliver when you're supposed to. No long talking. You great at communication. Whatever it is, those could be part of your personal brand. By the way, those could be part of your values, your core personal values. Absolutely. Now, where in that did I say that you had to be likable? But those might be things that might endear you to someone. Because some people would be like, oh, well, I don't like working with artists because they never on time and they always miss their deadlines and whatever. And the fact that you come and do something different, that could make you likable to them. It had nothing to do with your personality per se. It didn't have anything to do with you needing to be bubbly or sparkly or positive or anything, or even friendly. That could be part of your personal brand. So think about, what are your core values? What are your core values as your personal brand, as an artist, as a person, and for your business? One of my personal values for me is curiosity. I am curious about the world around me. I am always curious. I'm always learning more. I am curious about what else is there. I am curious about finding out more information. Now, how that translates to me is, and how that translates to my personal brand and then business is, I am always training. I am always looking to get better. And that only benefits my clients. I'm not stuck in an old way when the world has moved to a more modern or different direction. In fact, I'm trying to get there before most people. Curiosity, right? And then curiosity also allows me to push boundaries about what can and can't be done, or what should and shouldn't be done, and how those things can work together or work against each other. But it allows me to bring a unique perspective. One of the things for me, and I told you guys before, the floral designer, is people would say, I would have never put those colors together. Well, one of the things that I know is nobody sees colors the way I do. Nobody sees textures the way I do. And I would hope that you feel that confident in whatever it is that you say about yourself. I know nobody could see colors like me. Now, how could I know that? One, because I'm the only person with my eyes and my eyesight. Duh. I'm the only person who has had my experiences and my perception. And then you add in the fact that I am curious. I will explore the boundaries of color. I will see what pairs together, what won't. I'm willing to try. I'm willing to say, let's see if we could do it. Let's see if we could work together. I'm willing to say, that didn't work. Or I'm willing to say, yeah, I could tweak it to make it work. Curiosity. That's also part of how curiosity, the value, shows up in my business. And so even as you build your personal brand, you need to be able to express, what are you great at? What are you great at? What can no one else beat you at? If you are a graphic designer, no one should be able to have your perspective or do what you do. If your stuff is looking like it was generated through AI or whatever the case may be, then try again when it comes to your creativity. Because one thing that AI does not have on us as human beings is our creativity. AI replicates things that have already been done that it can pull and feed from, but the human mind is untapped. Where's your level of genius? AI can't emote if you're an actor or a speaker. AI can't emote the way a human can. AI can just recreate and put things together, but it does not have what we have as far as imagination. Be able to brag on yourself. This is what I do. This is my lane. I own it. Now, I'm not saying that that's what you tell the people exactly like that, but you stand on it. Someone asks you what makes you unique with flowers. Ask me this. Nobody could beat me putting textures and colors together. Now, I'm not saying it's actually true. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I know what I'm good at. Those are two of the things that I'm good at. Okay, there's more, but those are two of the things that I'm good at. So also be able to tell a story, learn the art of storytelling. One of the things that also pulls us in and draws us in is not just the know, like, trust factor, but also, well, actually, let me not say that. The storytelling part helps with the know, like, trust factor. What drew you to art? Be able to express that, and I promise you, you will draw some people to you because of your ability to tell that story. And for you, it may not be a grand story. For you, it might seem very basic. But once you learn how to craft it and put it together, then, and that's a whole deep dive within itself, then it becomes more important. Then it becomes more inspiring. Then it matters. Then you get people to connect with you. Personal branding in 2025 and beyond cannot be ignored. It has to be done because your personal brand can take you further than your business brand. Now, that might be a bold thing to say, right? Because there are many, many, many businesses that exist in the world, and nobody knows who owns them. No one knows who runs them. No one knows the face behind them unless it is put out on the internet. I get it. And you may want to be like that too. And you can be like that. If you want to be anonymous, okay. Just know that either way, you have to be intentional about building your brand and you have to be consistent. And when you decide that you are evolving and the things that you may no longer be into certain things, it's okay to take your audience, to take your community on that journey of evolving and changing your mind. No longer is social media strictly about aesthetics. Mind you, there are some people who will get caught up in aesthetics. There are some people who will get caught up in aesthetics. But more and more now, people want to feel and they want to see the real, authentic stuff. They want to see the behind the scenes. They want to see as you are preparing to work. They want to see you going out and buying your supplies. They want to see you setting up your laptop and your workspace. They want to see you practicing. They want to see you networking or getting ready to go network. These are things that build community. You don't have to formally build community by saying, hey guys, I'm forming this community. Go join this website and follow me over there. And every month I'll show you what I'm doing. Every week you don't have to do that. There are ways to do that, absolutely. You can use Substack, for example. You can use Beehive. You can use circle. You can use school. There are so many avenues for you. If you want to create a private community, you can absolutely do that. Patreon as well. But you could also build community right there on social media. And you can build community offline. How do you build community right there on social media? You share what you're working on. You don't just share your finished pieces. You share what you're working on. You share the behind the scenes process. You take people with you while you're doing these things. It's like they're right there shopping with you in the store. They're right there while you're making decisions. It's almost like they are a fly on the wall as you work, as you prep. That is one of the ways that you build community. You can also talk to people through social media. Ask their opinion. Use stories, use statuses. Ask them to vote. Ask them to engage with you. Ask them questions. People like to talk. Just be consistent. Um, Pick your cadence for posting. If you're going to post once a week, fine. And then hopefully you can up it to 2, 3 times a week. But just post. For me, one of the easiest things to do was go live. There was a point where for, I think, 33 weeks straight, I went live every single Monday, no matter what was happening in life, every single week. And that was one of the fastest ways that I built know, like, trust. I'm not saying you have to go live. I'm just saying that that was my commitment to myself to be consistent. And I put that commitment out there to also keep me consistent. So your content calendar, you can literally sit down and use a content calendar template. One example will be provided for you. And you write down, these are my content pillars, meaning these are the things that I'm going to be sharing with the world on social media or in my own community, whatever it is. And these are the pillars, meaning the general topics, the buckets. And then you're going to schedule out, okay, I'm going to create maybe 2 pieces of content under this bucket, 2 pieces of content under this bucket, 2 pieces of content under this bucket. So that's a total of 6 pieces of content. And maybe you're only posting 3 times a week. So then that already takes care of 2 weeks of posting. You prepare them in advance, and then you can schedule them out. You can schedule things out on Instagram. You can schedule things out on Facebook. How? Use Meta Business Suite. You can absolutely schedule things out. For TikTok, I think you can schedule things out, but you have to do it by using the TikTok app on your laptop. You cannot schedule on your phone, as far as I remember. Batch your content if you can. What do I mean by batch content? Okay. You can schedule out 1 hour per week and you say, okay, I'm going to get behind the scenes because I know I have this project coming up and I need to actually, I will use this as an opportunity to get content. So you can get a tripod if you don't have one and think about, okay, how can I use this content that I'm about to capture? And sometimes it doesn't work out where you get to plan. You just put your tripod up and you record, and then you figure out what you're going to do with the content after. That works too. Yes, get to the point where you think in advance about the shots that you need and what you need to record and all of that. But I don't want you to get to the point of feeling overwhelmed by having to plan constantly. No, put the tripod up. Use a good camera. Needs to be good. Needs to be clear footage. Okay. Good lighting. Record. Occasionally, move the tripod to another angle to get you from another angle. And then you can You can shorten those clips down into however many different pieces that you want, and you can use them from there. Simple batch content to start until you start being more intentional. If you can, absolutely do that from the start. But if you're just starting from scratch and you feel overwhelmed by that idea, just get a tripod. Just get the tripod. If you are a graphic artist, for example, record your screen, record your screen and then edit it. And you can do like, what do they call? You can speed up the footage just to show you creating directly from your screen. You did not have to set up a tripod. If you are an artist, a spoken word artist, an actor, a speaker, whatever it is, again, set up the tripod. Ask someone to get good, clear footage of you as you perform in short clips, portrait and landscape. Do both. Try to get photos as well. Whatever you do, try to get photos of your finished products. Doesn't matter what type of art that you do. If you can stage it, stage it. If not, just get good, clear photos. I am telling you to start at the basics because I understand that doing all of this right away and, you know, doing things in a professional manner and sitting down and thinking things through could be overwhelming. And not just that, but I just literally said to you, people want authentic stuff. People want authentic things. So you might be there thinking, oh, I don't want people to see my messy background. I don't want people to see the mess I make while I create. People love that. They love that. It gives them a real glimpse. It's like they're right there in the studio with you. That is one of the ways that you build community. That is one of the ways that you build like trust. A personal brand is so much more flexible, in my opinion, than a business brand. Because with the business, it's like, okay, yeah, you have these brand colors and, everything needs to feel a particular way based on how you want the business to be portrayed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then the logo, and we have to go with this particular style and this aesthetic, and we can talk in this tone because this is best. The personal brand, in my opinion, it has those things, mind you, but it's so much more flexible and it allows you to grow and take your clients and your audience and your community on a journey with you so that as you evolve, then you can change without having to do all this rebranding and all this. Oh, I need to change my logo and I need to do this and I need to do that. And you could just be and take your clients and your customers and your community on the journey of just being as you create. Take your values and how do they show up for you in your personal brand? How do they show up for you as an artist? Super important. Super important to nail these things down.